What is up, y'all? Mental Muscle Coach here. And quick shout out to my brother for giving me this dope ass captain's chair, man. This thing is comfy as shit. I'm sitting here reclining, loving life. But what is up, guys? I had a fun idea for a topic today that I wanted to break down. What is the sex appeal of the bad boys? This is something I want to explain with neuroscience and psychology. So, peep game. As it relates to social norms, one thing that we tend to speak about quite consistently is this concept of women being sexually attracted to bad boys, the dudes that look a certain way, that give off that vibe, that may not necessarily give a shit or be looking for a long-term relationship. But in their behaviors, they reflect confidence. They exude it can almost seem sleazy, but this, level of self-worth and this perspective about themselves that just kind of makes them draw women towards them oftentimes. Although many women it pushes away. But this is something that's interesting because whenever we identify someone who's achieving a particular goal, regardless of how we perceive them, they are doing something different. And so what is going on with them? Now, quick disclaimer, this is by no means saying that all women are attracted to bad boys. I mean, most of which either have some kind of conditioning that causes them to be interested in those particular characteristics, or, they just haven't matured enough yet through life. And so they like to go towards dangerous guys they may not have their best interest at heart. And so that's more of the women oftentimes that have a lower level of maturity as it relates to social or cognitive concepts like this. But I'm definitely not marking all women and saying all women like the bad boys. It just so happens that many do, and there's a science behind it. The first concept to think about here is intentions and goals. A bad boy, so to speak, is going to have different goals and intentions than the guy who considers himself the good guy. And I mean, obviously I'm generalizing categories here, but hopefully you understand where I'm going. A lot of guys who see themselves as, oh, I'm this great guy and I do my best and I want to be honest and loving and create a great family, and they're looking at these bad boys and they're saying, oh, what's going on with them? Well, number one, the intentions and goals are different. And when you change your goal, we talk so often about having a goal in life. Yes, that's very important. But when you change your goal, it honestly changes the way that you pursue that goal. So it changes your strategies, it changes your behaviors, and it changes the way you engage with the different variables that ultimately determine whether or not you reach that goal. Because oftentimes the person who isn't the bad boy, the guy who isn't the bad boy, is almost having this needy energy about them many times where they're trying to, I want to win a woman over. And so what happens when your goal is to win someone over? Oftentimes it leads to inauthenticity. It's, let me try to do what's going to make them happy. Oftentimes it leads into a person becoming a yes man, where the guy's just like, oh yeah, this, oh yeah, you like that? Okay, now I like this. Oh, you like yoga? Well, I love yoga. That's a turnoff, but it's showing that oftentimes people who are in that state of mind will reflect inauthentic behaviors in order to try to achieve their goal. Whereas bad boys, many times, they are being authentically themselves, whether we perceive that as a good thing or a bad thing. They oftentimes don't have that same neediness of, I'm trying to win a woman over. They're more so exuding a confidence about themselves, where they're not making the woman the focal point of their pursuit. And so understand, yes, women want to feel like they are in, to some extent, obviously, I mean, everyone wants to feel this. Everyone wants to feel like, to some extent, when they're pursuing someone or they're engaged with someone, they want to feel important to them. They want to feel valued by them. But a true woman, not a girl, a true woman does not want to feel like she is the central point and factor in a man's life. That seems kind of weak a little bit because it says, wow, you don't have a life outside of me. You don't have passions and interests outside of me. And when a woman is made to feel like, I'm this man's world, that can be beautiful on one end, but on the other end, that's a huge responsibility. And responsibility doesn't necessarily feel sexy. You get what I'm saying? Esther Perel, a legend in the areas of relationship and infidelity even. Esther Perel talks about this concept in her book called Mating in Captivity, where she was part of this research study, or rather she spoke about this research study, where they asked a large group of women and men what it was that made them feel the most sexually attracted to those of the opposite sex. And for men said that they felt most attracted to their partner when their partner pursued them, when their partner was the pursuer. Now, why is that? And it's because evolutionarily, men were the hunters. Men were the ones who had to do the pursuit work, if you will. And so when a woman is pursuing them, it takes that evolutionary responsibility off of the man, and he's able to be free and lean into that sexuality. And it's like, oh, it's exciting, you know? Whereas for women, though, they found that women felt most attracted to their partner when their partner was doing what it was they were passionate about, or living out their purpose, whatever. You know, when she saw her partner who may be in a band, you know, playing guitar and in that moment and, you know, shredding on his guitar and flow, or when they saw their partner who might be like a public speaker, might be an athlete, doing the thing that they love to do, that's when they felt most attracted to them. Why? Because of the fact that when a man is living out his dreams or his goals or his purpose, or, you know, or simply in a state of passion, she doesn't have to be in the state of being a nurturer. Because evolutionarily, women have largely had to be the nurturers. They're the ones who largely had to raise the kids and, you know, make sure everyone was okay and be a caretaker. So it takes off that evolutionary responsibility for the woman to have to be the caretaker, to have to take care of the man. And so in that space, the responsibility leaves and it gets replaced by lust, by excitement, by all these awesome things. You see what I'm saying? So having a well-rounded man that, yes, loves the woman and makes her a central point in his life, but also has things outside of her that makes him more attractive to her. And bad boys are not afraid to say, hey, you are part of my life, but not all of it. I got a lot of things going on other than you. And so even though that can be a negative manifestation a lot of times, it does create a sense of lust. One more huge one is spontaneity. Bad boys are often spontaneous and adventurous in the ways that they engage, in the ways that they approach. Because they're not simply thinking, oh, what can I do to try to win her over and make her like me? No, they kind of have this energy about them where they're just kind of doing things. They kind of have this confidence, this swag even many times, where they're going about things differently. They're not going by the status quo. They're changing shit up. They're not just being this repeat record. They're giving the woman a state of uncertainty. When they engage with this guy who is a little fiery, is a little dangerous, is like, ooh, what's gonna happen? You know, what's he gonna say? Where is he gonna take me? It's like this excitement that manifests lust, because one of the key factors of lust and sexual attraction is spontaneity and newness. So what the whole reason why I'm saying this is not to put bad boys on a pedestal. No, it's to say to the good men, to the good people out there, this is literally what it is that draws attraction within women oftentimes. These are very powerful factors, so that you can include this into your relationship or into your pursuit. Or if you're with your partner and you guys have been together for a certain period of time, how much spontaneity are you bringing to your relationship? When I think about engaging with a partner, I'm not like, oh, okay, we've achieved a level of comfort. All right, awesome. No, I want to say, all right, what won you in the first place? The spontaneity, the fun, the fire. Okay, cool. We got to keep that alive. That's how you make it so that you don't just have a honeymoon. There should be no such thing as a honeymoon phase. You should have a honeymoon life. And how do you do that? You do what you did in the beginning when you were trying to win them over in the first place. You got to be exciting. Yes, bring the love, bring the stability, bring the security and the honesty, you know what I mean? And being true to one another. But also, you got to bring these other elements that make it spicy. Esther Perel says this beautiful thing that she says in when she's engaging with couples, she tells the man, she said, you know what? Welcome your partner into your red light district. Welcome your partner into your freaky places, your wild places, your spontaneous places. Those very factors that are drawing interest from the bad boys are things that you can bring into your life and your relationship. So, hey, check this out and think about this, y'all. I love you. Obviously, there's much more I could say, but I got to keep this video somewhat short or else I'll have you guys up here for a long ass time. But I'll produce more though. So I'll be seeing you soon. That's a muscle coach out. Love you. Peace.